Hello student, now this is a miscellaneous exercise 2a. I am explaining all the problems in a very simple language and you will understood all the problems whatever that I am explaining. At the same time, मी अनअकॅडमीच्या प्लॅटफॉर्मवर देखील M1 आणि M2 12वी शिकवत आहे आणि त्याचबरोबर सीईटीचा देखील कोर्स शिकवत आहे. निश्चितच या व्हिडिओ नंतर काही तुम्हाला पॉवर पॉइंटच्या स्लाइड्स बघायला मिळतील त्या बघा आणि जर ते आवडलं निश्चितच त्याचं सबस्क्रिप्शन घ्या आणि त्यासाठी जर माझा म्हणजे प्रोमो कोड वापरला वसंत सर म्हणून तर तुम्हाला त्यामध्ये निश्चितच डिस्काउंट मिळेल. त्याचबरोबर डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्समध्ये मी काही लिंक दिलेल्या आहेत. त्या लिंक जर तुम्ही ओपन केल्या तर तुम्हाला माझे सर्व फ्री लेक्चर्स बघायला मिळतील. त्याचबरोबर अनअकॅडमीच्या YouTube वर देखील मी MHTCET शिकवत आहे, ते देखील तुम्ही बघू शकता. Unacademy plus subscription Maestro batch for MHTCET 2021. Learn from the top educator of MHTCET for the preparation. In-depth analysis of topics, dedicated doubt clearing session. सर्व विद्यार्थ्यांचे एकदम डाऊट क्लिअर केले जातात यामध्ये. इव्हॅल्युएट युअर अंडरस्टँडिंग थ्रू दी क्विजेस अँड द टेस्ट देखील घेतले जातात त्यामध्ये. These batches are starting from the 4th of January. Can enroll now and use my code, that is a VG Live. Next is Unacademy plus subscription. If you take, then you will have all these benefits under everything under single subscription. देखील कोड दिलाय माझा मी. Okay. Next, Unacademy plus subscription. Best plan for MHTCET 2021 aspirant. 12 month साठीचा प्लॅन दिलेला आहे आणि 6 महिन्यासाठीचा देखील प्लॅन दिलेला आहे. न्यू बॅच स्टार्ट फ्रॉम दॅट एव्हरी मंडे. एक मंडेला नवीन बॅच त्यामध्ये चालू होत असते. अँड नेक्स्ट इज अनअकॅडमी प्लस सबस्क्रिप्शन. लर्न फ्रॉम दीज टॉप एज्युकेटर्स. हे सर्व टॉप एज्युकेटर्स आहेत. ते तुमच्या सर्व शंकांचं निरसन करतील. ते सर्व विषयांसाठी फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, मॅथ्स अँड बायोलॉजी. ओके. नेक्स्ट अनअकॅडमी टेस्ट सिरीज देखील आहे यामध्ये. दॅट इज इव्हॅल्युएट युअर परफॉर्मन्स, अटेम्प्ट a letter multiple times, available for free. ओके. टेस्ट सिरीज कशा अटेम्प्ट करायच्या त्या संदर्भात देखील दिलेलं आहे. आणि जर समजा तुम्ही जर सबस्क्रिप्शन घेतलं तर माझा हा प्रोमो कोड वापरू शकताय वसंत सर म्हणून. त्यामध्ये तुम्हाला डिस्काउंट मिळेल तिथे. आणि हा माझा YouTube कोड आहे, दॅट इज अ live VG. Now the first problem is find the inverse of each of the following matrices if they exist. Therefore, first we'll find out the determinant of the matrix. Here, let capital A is equals to the matrix capital A is equals to the matrix 1, minus 1, 2, and 3. Therefore, the determinant of the matrix is equals to 1, minus 1, 2, 3. Therefore, you will get 1 into 3. There is a 3 minus, in bracket, minus 1 into 2, you will get minus 2, and therefore their addition is 5, which is not equals to 0, and therefore A inverse exists. A inverse exists. Okay. Now consider A into A inverse, and that's equals to I. A into A inverse is equals to I. Therefore, what is the value of A? Determine matrix A. Matrix A is a 1, -1, 2, 3 into A inverse, and that's equals to 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Now by the operation, by R2 minus 2 times R1, we get here, this is the 1 and -1, 0. 3 minus 2 into -1, and overall you will get here 5. That is here is a 5 into A inverse. Okay. And on this side also, what is that? 1 and 0. R2 minus 2 times R1, and 0 minus 2 into 1. Overall, you will get here -2 and 1 is as it is. पुढचं ऑपरेशन काय असेल तर या 5 ला काय करणार आपण तर 1 करणार. Therefore, by 1/5 R2, we get what is it? 1/5 R2, then we get here 1, -1, 0 and 1 into A inverse, and that's equals to 1, 0 minus 2/5, and here is a 1/5. पुढे काय याचा हे 0 करणार. Therefore, by the operation R1 plus R2, we get R1 plus R2, we get, here is identity, that is 1, 0, 0, 1 into A inverse, and here is R1 plus R2, that is a 1 minus, there is a 5/2, that is a 1 minus 2/5. 1 minus 2/5, there is a 3/5. 1, 0 plus 1/5, you will get here 1/5. Next is a minus 2/5 minus 2/5, and here is a 1/5, and we take 1/5 as a common. Therefore, you will get here, that is a 3, 1, -2 and 1. Okay. Therefore, A inverse is equals to 1/5, and here is a 3, 1, -2, 1. This is the A inverse, and this is the answer. Therefore, A inverse is equals to 1/5, 3, 1, -2 and 1. Now the next problem. Now the next problem is matrices 2, 1, 1, -1. First of all, we'll find out the determinant of the matrix. Before that, let capital A is equals to, this is the matrix 2, 1, 1, -1. Okay. And therefore the determinant of this matrix is equals to, it's a determinant 2, 1, 1, minus 1. And their product is a minus 2, minus 1, and that is equals to minus 3, which is not equals to 0. Therefore, A inverse exists. A inverse exists. Okay. Now, next is a consider A into A inverse, that is equals to R. The A inverse आपण find out करणार. Now the A is, what is A? It's a 2, 1, 1, minus 1 into A inverse, and that's equals to 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Now what is the first operation? By R12. We get, that is interchanging the first and second row. Therefore, here 1, minus 1, 2, 1 into A inverse, and here is a, that is 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay. Next is R2 minus bar, what is this? R2 minus 2 times R1. We get the first row is as it is 1, minus 1, and here is a 0. That is R2 minus 2 times R1, 1, minus 1 into minus 2, that is a plus. 1 plus 2, here you get 3 into A inverse, that is equals to 0 and 1. R2 minus 2 times R1, this 1 is as it is. Next 0 minus 2 into 1, overall you will get minus 2. Okay. Now the next operation, make this 3 as a 1, that is a bar. या 3 ला काय करणार तर 1 करणार. Therefore 1 upon 3 R2. Therefore you will get here, first is 1, minus 1, 0, 1, and here is A inverse. Okay, 0, 1. 1 upon 3 R2. Here is 1 upon 3 R2, means minus 2 upon 3. Now the next operation is it is 0 करना by R1 plus R2. By R1 plus R2 we get here, this is 1, 0, 0, 1 into A inverse, and here is R1 plus R2, 0 plus 1 upon 3, here is 1 upon 3, 1 minus 2 by 3, 1 minus 2 by 3, overall you will get 1 upon 3. Next is 1 upon 3 minus 2 upon 3. Okay, this is now the identity matrix. Therefore, A inverse is equals to 1 by 3. Here is a 1 by 3. Again 1 by 3 and minus 2 upon 3. We can take that is a 3 as a common, 1 by 3. Then we get 1, 1, 1 minus 2, and hence therefore A inverse is equals to 1 upon 3, and here is a 1, 1, 1 minus 2. Therefore, this is the A inverse. Now the next problem. Now the next example is, let A is equals to matrix 1, 3, 2, 7. Therefore, first of all, we'll find out the determinant of the matrix. That is, the determinant of A is equals to 1, 3, 2, 7. 1 into 7 is 7. 2 into 3 is 6. That is 7 minus 6. That is equals to 1, and which is not equals to 0. Therefore, A inverse exists. Okay. A inverse exists. Now we'll find out the by using the row transformation. Consider A into A inverse, and that's equals to I. Now here is a matrix. It is a 1, 3, 2, 7. 1, 3, 2, 7 into A inverse, and that's equals to I. I is 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Now the first element A11 is 1, therefore no problem. Therefore, by that is R2 minus 2 times R1, then we get here the first row is as it is 1, 3, here is a 0, 7 minus 6, 1 into A inverse, and on this side the first row is as it is, that is 0 minus 2, here is a minus 2, and 1 is as it is. Now the next operation is, that is by R1 minus 3 times R2, because here A22 is already 1 there, then we get, okay, we get here 1, 0, 0, 1 into A inverse, that's equals to R1 minus 3 times R2 on this side now, that is minus 2 into 3, that is 6, 1 plus 6 means what, here is a 7, 1 minus, that is a 0, here is a minus 3, minus 2, and 1. Therefore, the inverse is, here is a, therefore A inverse is equals to 7 minus 3 minus 2 and 1, and this is the inverse of that given matrix. Therefore, the final answer A inverse is equals to 7 minus 3 minus 2 and 1. Okay, now the next problem. Now the next matrix is 2 minus 3, 5, 7. Let A is equals to 2 minus 3, 5, 7. Therefore, determinant of A is equals to 2 minus 3, 5, 7. I will solve this. 2 into 7 is 40, minus 15, minus here will be plus 15, and that's equals to 29, which is not equals to 0. Therefore, A inverse exists. Therefore, A inverse exists. Now we'll find out the inverse. That is A into A inverse, and that's equals to I. Now the value of A is 2 minus 3, 5, 7. Here is a matrix. 2 minus 3, 5, 7 into A inverse, and that's equals to I, which is 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Now we'll find out by the transformation is like this. What is that? R1 to already. Then we get R1 to यासाठी आपण केलंय. I have changed this R1 to because 5 will in the first row 5, 7, and 2 times R2, then R1 minus 2 times R2, then we will get D1 at the place of A11. Therefore, first is R12, which is the 5, 7, 2, minus 3. It is the A inverse. And that is a 0, 1, 1, 0. Okay. Now the next operation is a by R1 minus 2 times R2. R1 minus 2 times R2. Here is a 1, 7, and 2 into 3, that is a 6. 7 plus 6, you will get here 30, and 2 minus 3 into A inverse, and that's equals to, here is a R1 minus 2 times R2. R1 minus 2 times R2, here we will get minus 2, 1, 1 and 0. Next operation is, that is by R2 minus 2 times R1, then we get 1, 13, and here we will get a 0, minus 3, and 13 into 2, that is a 26, 26 and minus 3, that is 29 into A inverse, and here is a R2 minus 2 times R1, R2 minus 2 times R1, 2 into 2, 4, 1 plus 4, that is 5, here is a 0, minus 2. Okay. Now by minus 1 upon 29 R2, then we will get here, that is a 1, 13, 0, and here is a 1 into A inverse. What about here? Minus 1 upon 29 R2, 2 and 1 as it is, minus 5 upon 29, minus minus will become plus, that is a 2 upon 29. Okay. Now the next operation is, that is a by R1 minus 13 times R2. Then we will get here, that is 1, 0, 0, 1 into A inverse, and on this side that is R1 minus 13 times R2. That is, now on this side, that is the second row is as it is, that is the minus 5 upon 29, and here is a 2 upon 29. Now the next calculations are here, that is R1 minus 13 times R2, that is minus 2 13 times, that is 13 into 5, that is 65, minus minus will become plus. Then here you will get, that is a 7 upon 29. Here is a 7 upon 29. And next is a R1 minus 26 upon 29. And therefore here you will get 3 upon 29. Here is a 3 upon 29. Okay. You can erase this. Now the next is, we can take 29 as a common. Therefore A inverse, here is a A inverse is equals to 1 upon 29, and here is a 7, 3, minus 5 and 2. This is the inverse of a matrix. Now the next example. Now the next matrix is 2, 1, 7, 4. Let A is equals to the matrix 2, 1, 7, 4. Now we'll find out the determinant of the matrix. Therefore the determinant of the matrix is 2, 1, 7, 4. Now 2 into 4, that is 8 minus 7, which is equals to 1, and that is not equals to 0. Therefore here A inverse exists. Okay. Now we write here A into A inverse, A into A inverse, and that's equals to I. Now the value of the A is, what is that? 2, 1, 7, 4 into A inverse, and here is a 1, 0, 0, 1. Now what is the first operation? That is a R1, 2. Here is a 7, 4, 2, 1. A inverse, and here is 0, 1, 1, 0. Now the next operation is a by R1 minus 3 times R2 we get. Okay. Very good. That is 7 minus 6. We have 1. 1. 4 minus 3. Here is again 1. 2. 1. A inverse. Now on the same sides, that is a R1 minus 3 times R2. Minus 3, 1, 1 and 0. Okay. The next operation is by R2 minus 2 times R1 we get. Okay. Now here is 1, 1, 0, and again here is a, that is a R2 minus 2 times R1, there is a minus 1 into A inverse, and on this side also, that is a minus 3, 1. R2 minus 2 times R1, this is a 1. 2 into 3, minus 6. Minus 6, that is a plus 6. 1 plus 6, here is a 7. What about here? 0. Minus 2 times 1, here is a minus 2. Okay. And now the next operation is, now this make this element as a plus 1, therefore by minus R2 we get, by minus R2 we get 1, 1, 0, 1 into A inverse, and here is a minus 3, 1, minus 7 and 2. Okay. Now the last operation make this element, that is a A12 as a 0, therefore by R1 minus R2 we get 1, 0, 0, 1 into A inverse, and here what is that? Minus 3, minus 7, here minus minus will become plus. Next is a 1, minus 2, minus 1, minus 7 and 2, and therefore now this is the identity into A inverse, that is a inverse, therefore 4 minus 1 minus 7 2, and hence here is the answer. Here 4 minus 1 minus 7 and 2. Now this is the answer. Now the next matrix is 3 minus 10, 2 minus 7. Let A is equals to matrix 3 minus 10, 2 minus 7. Okay. Therefore, the determinant of A is equals to 3 minus 10, 2 minus 7, and that's equals to minus 21. And here is the minus and minus, that will become plus, that is a plus 20, that is equals to minus 1, and which is not equals to 0. Now therefore we'll get here A inverse exists. A inverse exists. Now we'll find out the inverse. Consider now A into A inverse, and that's equals to R. Okay. Now the value of A determinant matrix is 3 minus 10, 2 minus 7 into A inverse, and here is the identity 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay. Now the first operation is a R1 minus by R1 minus R2 we get, by R1 minus R2 we get, here is a 1 minus 10 minus 7 minus will become plus, here is a minus 3, 2 and minus 7 as it is, and here is a A inverse, and on this side R1 minus R2, that is a 1 minus 0, here is a 1, 0 minus 1, here is a minus 1, next is a 0 and 1. Now the next operation is a, that is R2 minus 2 times R1. by the operation R2 minus 2 times R1. Then you will get here that is 1 minus 3, here is 0, minus 7 and minus 3 into minus 2, that is a 6, and overall you will get minus 1 into A inverse, that is equals to 1 minus 1, R2 minus 2 times R1, here is a minus 2, 1 minus 1 into minus 2, that will become plus, and overall here you will get 3. Okay, now the next operation is that, what is that? By minus R2, we get by minus R2, we get 1 minus 3, 0, 1 into A inverse, that is equals to 1 minus 1, 2, and here is a minus 3. Okay, now the last is by, we can make this minus 3 as a 0 by using R1 plus 3 times R2. Therefore, we will get here identity matrix, that is a 1, 0, 0, 1 into A inverse, and on this side, that is R1 plus 3 times R2, 1 plus 2 into 3, that is a 6, 6 plus 1, 7, minus 1, then minus 3 into 3, that is a minus 9, and overall you will get here is a minus 10, and here is a 2 minus 3. Okay, therefore A inverse is equals to 7 minus 10, 2, and last is a minus 3, and hence this is the answer. 7 minus 3, so 7 minus 10 and 2 minus 3. And in this way, here we have completed the inverse of 2 by 2 matrix, and in the next video we will find out the inverse of the matrix of the order 3 by 3. Till then, goodbye.